Trolls, you can't argue with Twitter people, right?
No.
And
Twitter people are always right. They always have 10 different opinions.
yeah, they think they know everything about boxing and social media and influencer, and it's honestly really cringeworthy, and it's really not worth the extra look. And I feel like these people are not necessarily protecting themselves. Welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world. I'm your host, Chase Demore.
And Gabrielle Moses.
And today, we have a lot of hot topics to talk about.
A little bit heavy topics, too.
Yeah, like what has been going on in the influencer space and the celebrity space with all of these like allegations that they got going on.
Something's in the water, I think. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the time of year, but everything's kind of coming out. All at once.
It has to be something. Like, I don't know what it is. And, here's the thing. When I was coming up, I remember my parents used to tell me all the time, whatever it is that you decide to do, whether it's, you're going to be a doctor, whether you're going to be a star athlete, an actor, or you just do everything like I do. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah. Man of many traits and talents.
No, but I feel like the first thing that they always tell you is be careful with these girls because these girls are going to want to get you in the most amount of trouble as possible.
I mean, it's not even just that. It's more so like, be careful with anyone ever taking videos of everything or like taking screenshots. Like my parents always said, don't do anything that you don't want to have like on the internet forever. You can't erase it.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't really it doesn't really hit you until you're really until it hits home. Like until somebody something you're involved with, whether, the craziest thing about it is I'm just going to dive right into it. Let's talk about Mrs. Boxing.
Oh, no.
As I am the heavyweight champ. Let's look at this thing right here.
Only you.
Look how beautiful my belt is.
Bedazzled and all.
It's bezeled out. It says the heavyweight champ, Chase Demore. Mrs. Boxing sent me this, the Rob, because here's the thing is a lot of people know the most recent boxing match, very controversial robbery that took place by the PBA after they gave me my written letter stating that they even believe
they sympathized
They
with
sympathize with me. It is what it is, but we finally got our belt. We're taking this everywhere with us. It's so beautiful.
He said he's going to take pictures of Santa with it.
Pictures with Santa in New York City. Like, look how, it's got gems on it. It's white leather. It's not broken.
It says your name on it.
Like the one that they gave Temple of Farts or whatever, it was broken. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, the belt don't lie.
They gave him a broken belt.
Yeah, because it wasn't his. It wasn't his. Now there's two guys walking around with belts that they didn't deserve. You know what I mean? Or didn't earn. But it says champion on it. It's the most beautiful belt.
I don't even want to know where you got it from or how much that cost you.
Listen, it didn't cost me anything. Mrs. Boxing.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing about it is there's only two people in the entire influencer scene that have a white belt, and that would be me and Mr. JJ KSI.
I'm sure he's really happy that you two have the same
JJ KSI, if you're watching this, twins. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about today. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
What I want to talk about today is first and foremost, we used to train down at Jackrabbit with Coach Ivan and them. And one of the people we trained at Jackrabbit with us that we are pretty good friends with that has recently been cut from Misfits.
It's been under a little bit of fire.
A lot of fire. And I'm just gonna kind of give you a brief overview. Are you familiar with the piece of situation?
Oh yeah, you sent me the TikTok.
Okay. So basically, some girl on the internet had messaged him saying that she does filming or videos or something like this. And mind you, he's like 19, 20. Like he's an older guy.
I thought he was like 22.
He might even be 22. He's older. He's older than what this girl is. So he's messaging this girl, and generally, it was nothing bad at first. He was basically like, "Hey, I heard you do filming. You film for real?" And she goes, "Yeah, I do filming." And they were talking about it, and he has an OnlyFans, and he's trying to get
more content.
His content on the OnlyFans, asking this girl if he could film it. And so here's where it went south. In these DMs, this girl stated that, yes, she does filming. And just so he knows that she is 15 years old, going to be 16.
She's that young?
15, turning 16.
Oh, no.
And it's just right then and there, you should have just stopped replying. Probably just hey, sorry, I'm an adult. I can't be involved in this. I'm really sorry. You don't have to delete any messages or anything because then it looks sus.
Yeah.
But at least state hey, especially because this has been an ongoing thing. And this isn't even just this particular person. He did not stop at that point. Yeah. You know what he did next?
What?
He stated, and I quote, "Age of 16 is age of consent. And I would definitely fuck.
No.
But I need you to come film some adult content with me and said other person. So basically, he was going to get naked, start hooking up with this girl, and this 15-year-old, almost 16-year-old, just so it's out there, was supposed to film this. And he thought that this was perfectly sane at this point, right? It's crazy.
It sounds so many levels of wrong.
Yeah, manipulative, and like I like Uncle Pizza. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I've
he is
never
a
had
nice
a problem with him. He's always, asked for content advice, what he should and should not be doing, etc. Right? Great guy. Well, transitioning from that, he then gave this girl his address with the camera, and they moved the conversation from Instagram to Snapchat. And the only time you move a conversation from Instagram to Snapchat is, what do you think?
When you want to hide something.
When you want to hide something, don't ever switch things to Snapchat, right?
My gosh.
And so he takes over the Snapchat and he's talking to this girl on Snapchat. And he's like, yo, like, yeah, I get you're super young, you can't even drive yet, but listen, like, I would still fuck, but age of consent is 16 and blah blah blah.
Is it even?
You act like I Google this stuff. I want to put out. I don't care. I don't Google this stuff, right? It's not my.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not looking at anyone.
Like,
that
listen,
young.
like, if you ain't 20, don't call me. And here's the thing. Moving forward is, while he was doing this, the girl. I've heard two different stories. One was Zerg or Zerka, whoever the guy was, uses this girl to set up influencers, which is how these screenshots get leaked to expose people.
No way.
Right, so it happened to another guy on Twitter called The Fan.
With the same girl?
With the same girl, right? And sometimes, I don't know if it's the same girl, because I saw two different things. One was like an account pretending to be the girl, and the real girl was messaging him on the side saying, I don't know who that is, vice versa. Like, there's a lot of like shady shakiness going on. Regardless, you shouldn't be replying to this girl, regardless, right?
Yeah, especially if she's 15. She can't even drive without a permit or an adult in the car.
100%. So he took this girl, and he invited her over. She has a camera. He's going to get naked. And
So she showed up.
She showed up. I don't know.
Where's her parents?
Exactly. Where's the parents? This was in Atlanta.
Where's the parents?
This happened in Atlanta. Only dark stuff happens in Atlanta. I'm not really sure what happened at that point because the kind of like the exposing went off the record.
Yeah.
Assuming she went up into the apartment, filmed whatever. He might have done something with her. He might not have. Regardless, the DMs got leaked. They went viral everywhere. And Mams Taylor, our CEO, our savior of the boxing space, has recently cut ties with Uncle Pizza.
I saw his tweet.
He stated out a tweet. The tweet says, we no longer are going to be working with Uncle Pizza. And mind you, this has been a very trending fact. In fact, so trending, I think YouTube is actually a troll at this point, because YouTube tweeted out something yesterday talking about who's the first creator that comes to mind when you think of pizza.
Oh, like YouTube.
Yeah, like actual YouTube page.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Anyways, so unfortunately, Uncle Pizza will no longer be boxing on Misfits, which is very sad because he was 1-0.
He worked hard too.
He worked hard. He had like a promising career. He recently lost to like that Yeti guy on Misfits 11, and that's really unfortunate that the very last thing that he gets to be a part of is that loss. So
yeah, but here's the thing. So did you ever find out if this girl was like a ploy or like being used for real?
She was definitely a ploy. I think that it did come out that the guy, another Twitch streamer or content creator, he does this type of thing to expose the pedos. And so he used this girl to basically expose
To bait him.
Oh
my gosh, that ruined his whole career.
He took the bait.
He took the bait.
Which is really...
And he's not the only one that this has been happening to either.
No. It transitions into, we're going to stay on the boxing space here for a bit. A lot of people know the Wings of Redemption versus Boogie boxing match, where me, aka
Chad DeMore,
Mustache Me, was the coach of Boogie, who boxed Wings of Redemption. Well, even recently with him, he's been going online, and there's been like a lot of controversy going on with him because he's gone from this major YouTuber, this major platform, to now he has like no money. And it came out that his girlfriend or something, Keemstar, had put a tweet out there saying that Boogie had said that his girlfriend was 17 or something like that.
What?
Yeah, it was like some really
How old is he?
Like he's got to be like in his 40s now. I used to watch him when I was like,
okay, I just don't understand that. Like, why are all these people going after like
what is it with these
youngins?
young girls? Like super young girls, not even just kind of young. I'm talking like these girls are just in high school type young.
Okay, listen, when I was 15, I was like a little nerd. I had no idea what anything.
Still are a nerd. What do you mean?
I know. hey now, I've grown up a little bit, but I can't imagine doing that stuff at 15. Maybe I was just sheltered, but all this stuff that is coming out is actually insane because it's hurting everyone's reputations. First of all, they should not be responding to these like young girls after they find out their age.
Yeah. And here's the biggest thing with it is, like I said at the beginning of this episode, I was stating that I think that when you have a platform and when you are notable and when you do certain things, people are going to come at you in different ways. It's not like, hey, just because you're so-and-so, I'm going to allow you to do something. You're not above the law, essentially, right? Even more so, it transitions into, if you are a notable person, people are going to do everything they can to get clout. Right? Especially now you're growing, you know, whether it's the influencer boxing page and Uncle Pizza, who's now soiled essentially his career, whether it's, you know, Ginty, who's now on Twitter defending himself for something about him exposing his sister and him having to clarify to the Twitter trolls that he's not using his sister for clickbait, who's also 15, or whether it's, you know, Boogie.
His sister?
Yeah, like he's got like a whole thing going on where he like posts on his Instagram story, he's talking about his sister and everybody's saying like to him like, hey, like I think that, you know, you shouldn't use your sister for views or clicks or whatever, and he's like going against the trolls. You can't argue with Twitter people, right?
No.
And
Twitter people are always right. They always have 10 different opinions.
Yeah, they think they know everything about boxing and social media and influencer, and it's honestly really cringeworthy, and it's really not worth the extra look. And you know, I feel like these people are not necessarily protecting themselves. And you know, this isn't just happening in the boxing or the influencer space. It's also happening inside the National Basketball Association.
Oh my gosh, I saw that.
NBA.
That was the big story. That was such a big story.
It's huge. You got, what's his name, Jay Giddey?
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey?
Yeah.
Josh Giddey. You got Josh Giddey, a 21-year-old kid, superstar.
He's young. He's a kid.
He's playing at 21 years old in the NBA for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, OKC.
OKC. Okay. So this guy recently was allegedly seeing a minor. They have not stated what type of minor this is. Whether it's a minor who's not 21, who's in a bar, because what'd you say earlier?
There's clips of her at the bar drinking with him.
Right.
So, like, who knows? There's so many, like, gray area, blurred lines. No one knows who this girl is, though, as of right now.
Exactly. Nobody knows who this girl is. Nobody knows how old she was, what type of minor. We're talking 15, gonna be 16. We're talking about 17, turns 18, you know, next week.
Or is she like 19 and no one knows that she used a fake ID to get into a bar?
Exactly. But it goes back to what I said originally, is when you become some sort of like a celebrity or like superstar or like somebody notable, like, you know, what's the word that they used to use? A public figure.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That they used to use.
I don't know. All these micro-influencers call themselves differently anyway.
That's
I don't know what it is. But I think that, you know, these type of people become very problematic because they think that they are essentially above the law. And, you know, Jay Giddey, or Josh Giddey, my fault, has gone on press conferences and he says, you know, there are media people, paparazzi, asking him the right questions, asking him, what is this girl, this and that. And his only rebuttal is, I understand the question, but I'm not going to answer right now. Yeah. Fair play to him. I think that that's probably his PR, his lawyer, his coach, a lot, you know, to do with that. But I think that that in particular makes him look very suspicious because why are you not answering the question?
Yeah. He's also, I feel bad too, because he's young. Like, it's not like he's a 30-year-old going after like a 15-year-old. But like you're saying, you have to be so careful whenever you're in the public eye, even if you are young. When you make a mistake like that, it's just like amplified like a tenfold. And now that the NBA has officially opened up their own investigation, like, could you be let go from that NBA because of it?
Yeah, that's also another thing is like, whether it's true or not true, the look is really bad. So it's like, here's the thing about professional sports, they catch you for anything. You know, he's a young guy. He's like, he hasn't made a name for himself in the NBA yet. Other than this, it's bad press for the team. It's a bad look. Whether he's playing well or not playing well, he's gonna get benched. He could get cut. It could soil his career for trades. Like this one girl who posted this Snapchat. I think the Snapchat saying, I just
saw the
fucked Josh Giddey or whatever.
And it looks like you can't really tell what she has on either.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's also like, why are you letting these girls have their phones and take photos of you? And like, and I'm not saying that in the sense of like they're over at your house and you should take their phones with them. I'm saying that in the sense of in public, you're walking around. Like most of the time, I prefer if people come and be like, yo, can I have a picture with you?
Yeah.
Not, hey, I'm just gonna come snap a picture. Cause I'm the first one to be like, what are you doing? Like, you just take pictures of random people. You've seen me do it.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
You know, like, why are you taking a picture of me? If I take a picture of you, it's weird, right? I don't know what your intentions were with this picture. I don't know what Photoshop can do nowadays. AI is absolutely unreal right now. So
No, that's scary.
it's
The
scary.
AI can do
They
anything.
can change. They can make you sound like your voice. They could change where you're at.
They can say stuff, like they could get other words that you said and turn it into something like completely different. The internet's a scary place these days.
It's a terrifying and horrible place, and I genuinely am concerned for the future of a lot of these superstars, and I think that's why like I'm so like particular on like where is it that I'm going. I always have a friend with me. I'm never solo. I don't ever let these people take. You always want to have like some sort of alibi as to where are you at when people are making allegations.
It's so sad that you even have to think about that these days.
Right, it's terrifying, and you know it's not even just in the sports. Like I know we're talking about boxing and basketball, but what about Dream? One of the biggest Twitch streamers ever.
Too.
Have you seen that stuff?
Yeah, so I saw like a brief like YouTube video about it. I don't really follow Dream that much. I know he's really big in the Minecraft space, but like
Is that what he's big on?
yeah, Minecraft.
I thought it was Roblox or something. Minecraft really that big of a game?
Yeah, Minecraft is huge. That was like the official, like first ever big, like video game that people were
I
like,
used to
oh
have
my
it on like a
gosh.
flash drive that I would take to school with me.
Minecraft was on a flash drive.
Yeah, I used to just plug it in and then like play it on my computer in high school.
I used the app on my grandma's iPad.
Oh yeah, I guess I had the app too.
That's
guess
what
in,
I
like,
would do.
Elementary school and middle school, I used to just have
Yeah.
like a 1 gig flash drive.
No, exactly. But yeah, I saw his allegations, but nothing's been confirmed. There's no like evidence of it.
Yeah, I think what it was is this girl made a bunch of TikTok videos, basically trying to expose Dream. Dream has had like had a really rough year ever since he did like his face reveal, especially.
People hated that he did that.
Yeah,
That sucks.
It's been over a year now. He did his face review. I was there at TwitchCon like right after he did like the face review, and he had like a line. Oh, it seemed like a mile long, and I couldn't believe it. And this is like my first real like glimpse of Dream essentially. And basically what this girl is stating is that she went to his Instagram and she filmed the whole thing, so it wasn't like a fake Photoshop or anything. And it clearly started out as her sending him a message stating that she was like a really big fan of him and was very supportive, and it was wholesome at the beginning until it got to the point where he was like, hey, add me on Snapchat. And then the girl goes to say that after she showed that she was friends with him on Snapchat, that he like sent a picture of his dick or something like that, and him like nutting to her essentially. And she was saying to herself was like, oh yeah, obviously like I was sending him stuff back. And
So then what's the point of like letting that out to everyone to
Well,
know?
I
Like,
see,
are you
I-
just getting attention?
right. So I think the point was is she didn't want people to think that she was lying essentially. And I think that the biggest thing about it is she lied about her age. She stated that she lied about her age. She said, obviously, I did lie to him about my age, but she's still trying to expose this man. So really, she has nothing to gain from exposing these DMs other than she's trying to cling on to
Get
some
attention.
fame, get some
Yeah.
attention and stuff.
Because she was a normal girl too.
Exactly. She's trying to say that this guy groomed her. Well, hate to play devil's advocate here, but like in Dream's defense, even if it did or did not happen, if this girl's coming and lying and saying that, hey, like I'm of age and like this and that, and I'm this person, that person, like Dream really doesn't have anything to go against. Like, why would she lie about that? Essentially, after she did this, she clearly had malintentions for it, because like for me, if a girl did this to me specifically and then lied about her age, I would delete them off of everything, as anybody should. Like, I'm not following you on Instagram, I'm not following you on Snapchat. You lied about all this. I don't want no confusion here of I'm even remotely entertaining this anymore, right? So how does this girl have Dream still friended on Snapchat, still follows her on Instagram, still has all these messages, has all of this stuff, right? clearly she was recording this while it was happening.
Yeah.
So
and
that-
thinking in the back of her head, like, oh, look at
Yeah, oh,
this is
look
my chance.
I'm going to expose this guy. I'm going to get some clout from it.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, it's really messed up because this girl got a lot of exposure and got a lot of clout. And you know what that does to other people?
Gives them hope. They're like, oh, maybe I can get attention for
Maybe
this.
I can get attention. And so they start clinging on to the next famous person that they know. And I don't know about what you know about social climbing, but it's like if you have connection to this person and you have connection to this person
Yes,
and
I
this
know
person and this
about
person.
that.
And people are like climbing their way and inching their way to the top, essentially just to expose the next person so that they can put themselves. And in my head, I'm sitting there thinking, like, what is your end goal here? Is your end goal to be the girl that's famous because you basically chop down every major influencer all the way till you get to the top? Like, you're not Ruby Rose. I hate to break it to you. You're not like,
I don't even know who that is.
it doesn't even matter. But you're not like anybody that is going to use like your looks to get fame. You're basically using your looks to be infamous for having people take advantage of you.
That's lovely.
All right.
Like, what?
Yeah, like, what are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah. I'd rather get like followers or attention for something good that I'm doing. Not like that sort of thing where you're using someone for your own gain.
Yeah, you have nothing to gain from that other than the defamation of somebody's
Character. Yeah.
And do you
See, can't you get... Okay, I'm surprised that no one sued someone else for defamation of character yet.
I'm sure people have been getting sued of defamation. Me personally.
You've never been handed some lawsuit papers with all the crap talking that you do?
Look.
I'm shocked. You've gotten close.
Listen, I spent my childhood in the Call of Duty lobbies. People don't understand. Like,
Oh, I've heard you on Call of Duty.
oh my gosh. You know what's crazy? Speaking of Call of Duty, you know what's crazy is my little cousin Kevin. I went home for Thanksgiving. He was trying to expose me in front of the family. He goes, you know, everybody's on the internet like, are you dating Gabrielle Moses? Is that your girlfriend? This and that and the fourth. And I'm sitting there like,
I know.
no, she doesn't live with me. Like what are you talking about? Like, she just visits me and she films content in my house and it's fine. Like, it's like all of my friends do this. And he goes, he's basically setting up a question here. And you have him friended on Snapchat. He goes to Snapchat and he's messaging you. What do you say? He's like, oh, do you live with Chase? And you're immediately like, no, I don't live with Chase, blah, 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 blah. And instantly he like deletes it off of his phone and he doesn't want to talk about it, right?
He's like, did Chase text you and
You know
tell
what
you
this
to
kid
say
does?
that?
He goes, is this your bed? Is this your house? Is this your door? Is this your dog? And I go, yeah. And then he goes all the way up
'cause I
through your
was
story.
there.
Yeah, he scrolls up all this to your stories and he clicks on it. And it was like a video of you putting me on Snapchat. And I was going off on somebody in the COD lobby.
Oh, no,
And
that's my
you see me,
Instagram
like,
story.
Yeah. And I'm just going off in the background on somebody.
And you're, like,
the
jumping
COD.
up and-
Yeah, and I was going
I
nuts.
remember that.
Trying to expose me in front of my family. And I'm like, look,
Don't you gotta love your little cousins?
if this is what the kids are doing today to try to like bring you down as a person and just talk about all the negative things you do, like, then if anybody wants to be famous, you guys can have it. Because let me tell you about it. It's a constant attack on your character. If you have, I'm not even just saying famous. Like, I'm not talking about like Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian. I'm talking about if you have more than 10K followers.
If you have a K by your follower
If you have a
count.
K, like, everybody underneath you is going to constantly be trying to drag you down. And let me tell you where it starts. It starts in your schools, your households, your neighborhoods. It starts with the people closest to you. And once the people closest to you, when you become like the biggest one out of the ones that are closest to you, then it comes to your state. And it's
Oh
the
my
next on the
gosh,
state,
that's
and
dark.
it's the country, and it's the world, and it just gives this hierarchy of bigger and bigger and bigger circles of people just constantly trying to take you down.
I mean,
Hence,
you're not wrong.
You have things like this where you light trash cans on fire outside of your house.
That's not what happened. Not even close. But that kind of gets us into the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about relationships. Because
She just goes from like this, let's go back to relationships.
yes, because this is what everyone wants to hear about your past relationships, because you don't really talk that much about it, like, ever.
Yeah, I don't entertain that girl.
But we don't have to like say specifics or anything. But like
Yeah.
the people want to know. I've been getting DMs asking about like you. About what happened with Chase. Why is he so terrible?
I'm not even.
Who hurt him?
Wow. Let
They
me
said, why can't he find love?
Well, I thought I had it when I was 17, but like, here's the thing: is like, I was so much younger than everybody else in my respectable age bracket. My first year of college, I was 17 years old. You know, I was still having to get like parent permission slips to do stuff in college, which, you know, essentially is like not a lot of people have that problem, whereas I did. So anyway, so I started dating this girl when I was super young. We had a 6-year relationship, and basically, it was just
6 years is crazy.
okay. You're one to talk.
Mine was at 6.
Your whole career is based off of it.
Shut up.
Like,
Shut up. Keep talking about your past.
At least my career was self-made.
Hey, shush.
Anyway.
Yeah, Mr. Netflix.
Hey, listen.
I'll start arguing with you on here.
Listen. Basically, I started dating this girl, and she was nice at the time. It's really, I started dating her for the wrong reasons. I was young, I was 17. I was like, she's really, really hot. I knew the girl for 10 days. I asked her on the 10th.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mostly in my head, I was like, I want to take this super hot girl and show her off to my high school. Like, look at these type of girls I can get now, guys. I'm a college
So was it
football
your
player.
senior year of high school?
Yeah, right before college. And, you know, I went into school with this girlfriend, and, you know, we were together, and it was kind of rocky at first because we did distance right off the bat, and her second semester, she did online classes. And I was a RA, a resident advisor at my university. And for those of you guys that don't know what that is, it's essentially when you live in the dorms. There's like one person in every dorm. He has like lockout keys, and anytime you have like an issue or anything like that, you gotta go to this person.
They're like the adult of the dorm hall.
Right. And so my dorm specifically was co-ed, and I was in the girls' hall. So I was just like this young 17-year-old kid, and I would go like let girls into their rooms, and it was very, very harmless. It was an easy job. Like, it paid for my room and board, and essentially I could put money in my pocket as a college student. And this girl I was dating at the time didn't like the fact that I was in this girls' hall. And so she came and she lived with me right off the bat.
In a dorm room?
In a dorm room. Me and her in a dorm room at
Oh,
19 years old.
no.
Oh, no, that wasn't even the worst bit of it. So I had a night class that was 4 hours long once a week. So this was probably the worst day. Like, the worst day I could think of was Thursdays. Thursdays were so terrible because now you're getting close to the weekend.
You're almost done.
You're almost done. You're tired from, you know, like, basically, so my schedule on Thursdays was I got up at 5 a.m. We had football practice in the morning, like morning weights, into breakfast. After breakfast, I had class all day. After class, I had track practice. After track practice, I had to come back, eat dinner, go to this 4-hour class that got out at 10 o'clock at night. Now, mind you, I've been up since 5. Then when I get back from this 10 o'clock at night class, obviously my girlfriend at the time was in the dorm room all day, bored as heck. So I get back, now I got to entertain this girl for the rest of the night, right? And
Wait, how is she always there? She went to college herself.
see, I said, you know, listen, I just told you she did online classes her second semester.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Anyways, she did online classes her second semester. So she didn't have to be in-person classes. So she could just do online. So while I'm at class and football and breakfast and practice all day, she's doing her online classes and her homework. So she's done by the time I get back. She's bored in the room.
She wants
all
to
day.
hang with you.
She wants to hang when I get back. So I have to come back, and now I got to hang with this girl for probably, usually in my head, I'm like, I want to be asleep by like 12:30, so we'll be done by midnight. So it's just like 2 hours of entertaining her.
Dang, that's not a lot of sleep at night.
It's not. And I'm on call too as an RA. So like if somebody has a problem at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
they're locked out of the room, I was waking up and having to let them in. So some days I wasn't even sleeping. I'm trying to entertain this. And obviously at 19 years old, you have issues with like another 19-year-old and doing this. So we're arguing all the time. Now I'm stressed out. I'm on like no sleep. I'm having to go to class and do this and
I
that.
still can't imagine being stuck in a dorm room.
In a college town. And mind you, like, we're on like a college budget here, so it wasn't like we had money to just go and this date night and this date. We're
Go to the movies.
well, I mean, I had
Top
money to do movies once
Yeah.
a week. It was, like, they did deals for us in the college town, but like, mind you, most of the stuff we were doing was like activities. Like, we were going on hikes, going for walks. I had a motorcycle, was teaching how to ride a motorcycle at the time. You know, there was like a lot of like in each other's faces time. And like at 19 years old, it was like, I couldn't even breathe doing this. And
Yeah,
so,
that's a lot.
towards the end of the year, I started taking trips to different universities and stuff and visiting for college football and whatnot. And basically I committed to a school against my better judgment because she didn't like any other schools that I was going to because it was too far from her. And then she didn't like, there was this hot girl and this hot, very insecure girl, mind you. She looked too good for you to go here, so you should not come here. But that's one person out of like a 90,000 or so people.
See, I get that.
So I committed to school. I basically went to school and she went 4 hours away from me so she could drive and see me every weekend. It's a little bit better than me stuck in a dorm room with her, but whatever. I think when I moved closer, we got further apart because now that we live in the same state, I felt like I didn't want to see her as much.
No, that makes sense. See, whenever I was choosing my college, I had a similar situation. And they were like, well, if you go too far away, like not threatening, but like, what will happen. Like, that sort of thing. So that's why I went to college in my hometown. I was supposed to go to NC or North Carolina, Chapel Hill. But yeah, so I understand that. That's hard.
So what was going to happen?
Well, he'd be like, well, what'll happen if you go far away, like no more YouTube. You're not ever going to be able to afford med school. Because that was our deal, was one day, since I wasn't getting paid for YouTube or anything, he would help pay for my med school. And then obviously I didn't go to med school, but so what happened. But yeah.
So what happened?
I never got any money from social media. And so even though I stayed home to go to college so that we can continue doing YouTube, we did 2 YouTube videos a day for the longest time. Yeah, it was just pretty much to help him.
So where was all the money for social media going?
Well, I can't really say that. You could put 2 and 2 together though and guess where it went. So
you can't say where all the money from your social media account went to?
Well, not in my pocket, I will say that.
So why even talk about it if you're not going to talk about it?
Because I was just saying that I wanted to go to school somewhere far away, but then I couldn't. And so that's why I went to my home place. But I was really happy about like how my college, time, went. And the people I met. It ended up being really good. I want to change that. I'm glad that I went to Drury. But if I had my choice and if I was smarter, I probably would have gone somewhere far. Kind of like Cassie, my little sister, did. But.
Okay, let's talk about the boyfriend that you can talk about, because I don't want to sit here and have like these holes in the story, or the audience is going to be super confused because you're just looking at me just saying 2 words about something that doesn't even non-existent. So talk about your boyfriend at Drury, how that happened, what happened with that.
Okay, so I dated someone while I was in the later end of college, my last year of college, junior/senior year. I graduated in 3 years, so it's a little bit confusing. But yeah, I met someone in college, dated him for a few months. He was a nice guy, but kind of was too nice. And I felt like I was his mom all the time, telling him dude, you can't be with me all the time.
Okay, let's get a little bit more. Let's dive into this a little bit more because we're very surface right now, Gab. How did you meet the guy? Where did you meet him? Why did you start dating? How long did you guys date for? Where did you guys live? How was going to school with him? Come on, give me something.
Okay,
here.
so this was in Springfield.
This is I'm not reading Spark Notes here. We're on a podcast.
Okay,
bro.
so this was in Springfield, Missouri. I was 21. I was turning 21. And so, I was very young, not just got out of a relationship. This was months, a year later. And I met this nice guy, kind of ignored him at the party a few times. I would see him out, college parties,
You said, how many times did you see him at a college party?
I probably saw him once or twice, completely ignored him.
Okay.
Completely. He would try and talk to me, would not give him.
That's like pulling teeth.
The time of day.
I'm like, Jesus.
Whatsoever. Would completely ignore this kid. Then finally I was like, okay, fine. This dude's a little persistent. I may as well give him.
So you've seen him at how many parties at this point before you talked to him?
Probably 3.
So this is
3 different times.
So the first
and he was
party,
still trying to talk to me. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll talk to you.
What do you mean by trying to talk to you?
Just always coming up to me every 5 seconds, being like, oh, hey, trying to talk my ear off. And then I'd do the thing where I'd see one of my friends and be like, oh my gosh, hi. And then just walk away and leave the conversation. Because I wasn't looking for anything. I was like, I'm not interested. I don't want this right now. And then I was like, okay. Fine, he's trying. Then I was like, okay, fine, we can go to a movie or something. And I think we went to a movie, or maybe we went to the mall.
Go to the movie.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
That was his first date.
Yeah, I don't even really remember it. It was very not memorable.
Can you come to a movie with me? You're at a house party on your 3rd date, and he said, Gabrielle, can we go see a movie? What the
Like,
heck
let's
did you
hang
guys-
out sometimes. So I probably give him my, like, you know, Snapchat. And then he probably, like, messaged
Buddy,
me.
did you give him the Snapchat or did you not give him the Snapchat?
Yeah, I probably did.
Oh, when?
After ignoring him for 3 times.
Okay, so on the third party, you're like, hey, dude, thanks for coming to talk to me. I don't have a friend to come bail me out this time.
Yes,
Here's my
and so I was
Snapchat.
stuck talking to him. Exactly.
You're not talking about this stuff. It's like pulling teeth.
I know,
right?
I'm really bad at telling stories.
Okay,
I suck at-
so-
the storytelling is like your strong suit. But yeah, so after a few times, I was finally like, okay, fine, here's my Snapchat. Like, we'll hang out sometimes because we lived at the same apartment
So
building.
he said, can I have your Snapchat so we can hang out? Or you said, hey, my friend's not here to save me, so here's my Snapchat.
Kind of like the second one.
Okay. And so then he instantly, like, he's at the party or he waits till you get home.
I'm pretty sure he waited till I got like home.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
he's like,
and then he was
first
like,
thing
hey, let's
says-
hang.
Okay, first thing he says is, let's hang out sometime.
Yeah, like it was good talking to you. Like,
Okay.
thanks for finally giving me the time of day. Because I'm a little stubborn.
I'm digging for you guys. Audience,
know.
if you're listening, I'm really trying here.
I know, you are.
Jesus.
You are. Anyways, so we end up hanging out. Then we hang out. a
Hold
few
on,
more
hold on,
times.
hold on, hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go back. So you gave him the Snapchat.
Yeah.
You gave him the Snapchat. And he was like, let's hang out sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, how long until the next party or the next time you saw him or when
Probably
you
like a week.
So it was about a week.
Yeah.
So he asked you after the party. So his party was Friday, Saturday. He asked
Yeah,
you
like
next
on the
weekend,
weekend.
can we hang out?
Yeah,
instead
and we
of go-"
probably did something one day after like I had class. It was
Okay, so
probably
during
like,
the week.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, hey, like, let's go do something after
Yeah.
you get off class.
Yeah.
And in your head, you're like,
I'm like,
okay.
sure, whatever. I'm bored.
So do you like this guy or not at this point?
He was nice.
Okay.
That was a change.
Okay, it was a change of pace. You wanted
Yeah.
to explore some other options.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I was like, oh, I've only ever been with one person. That was a 4.5-year relationship. So I was like,
Perfect.
you know what? I'm young. I'm in college. Why not have fun?
Okay, so what did you
So-
guys go do?
I want to say it was like the mall or the movies. Like it was very immemorable, like very like boring. I don't remember. This was 3 years ago.
She doesn't
4
remember
years
her
ago.
first date with her boyfriend.
We didn't date that long.
He's still your boyfriend. He's
Yeah.
your second boyfriend ever.
Yeah.
And you don't remember the first date.
No.
Holy sweet. It was either the movies or the mall.
I
Well,
can't
that's-
remember. It was one of those. It was just like a very basic time.
Okay, so
And he was nice though.
do you remember what movie you went and saw?
Couldn't tell you.
Do you remember what you guys talked about?
Nope.
So why are you on this date?
Because I wanted probably free food. I was in college too.
I'm sure the guy who's listening to this right now is really feeling good about
Listen, he
himself
was a
right now.
really nice guy.
All you're saying is, nice guy, I got some free food. Sounds like you are not the nice person in
Anyways,
this relationship.
no, so it was like 2 months after like us just like talking, maybe hanging out once a week. And I do remember how he asked me out though.
Thank God.
I do remember the story.
He's got some hope there.
We went and got hibachi. Literally, we went and got hibachi.
Okay.
Why are you getting mad at me?
So let's go back. So what did you guys go do? Well, we went to a movie or we went to
Well, I'm saying the first time ever.
Well, now I remember how he asked me out. We went to hibachi.
No, this
Okay,
is
so
when he
now we got
asked
a
me to
dinner
be his
then.
girlfriend.
Oh.
This is that date. He went,
Okay,
like-
so how many dates was it though?
What do you mean? Before we started like actually being boyfriend girlfriend?
Yeah, when did he ask you to be his girlfriend? That's
Like
what
2
we-
months after we started talking.
So you guys had like a slew of dates in between this?
Yeah.
Like how many?
Could not tell you. Probably we hung out once a week or something.
So it was a couple months, and you could not tell me how many dates you guys had.
Probably
Let's
once
just
a
for the
week.
fun of it, let's go once a week.
Yeah.
But you guys probably hung out more than once a week.
Yeah.
So you guys were probably hanging out like 3 to 4 days, roughly
Yeah.
a week. So let's just say on average, you guys hung out 3 times out of the 7 days in the
Oh, definitely not that much. I was biochem. I was
So you hung
studying
out
all the time.
2 days out of the 7.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so that's 2, 4. That's 8 times.
But then
a
there's
month.
always Snapchatting and stuff in between.
right.
You know,
so you guys
texting.
hung out like 2, 4. It's like 8 times a month roughly.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
about right.
Well, that's good. So you hung out 8 times a month for how many months? 2 months.
2 months about.
So you hung out a total of 16 times.
Yeah.
And you were giving me crap for asking a girl out who I hung out with 10 days in a row.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
I
I just
see
want
what
to
you're
make
saying.
sure we're on the same page here.
Yes.
Okay, so then, so now you're getting ready to go on this date to Hibachi, and he's getting ready to ask you to be his girlfriend. Did you have like an idea or a thought that this was going to happen?
Well, he told me he liked me a lot, and I was just like, that's very nice of you. And so, like,
Fellas, if you're listening to this, please don't listen.
yeah, don't listen to my advice. This is why I'm single.
Jesus,
But-
okay.
So it was a few times that we went out and stuff, and we went and got the hibachi dinner. Like, it was hibachi. You can't really mess that up.
Okay, so
He got me flowers too. That's why I think I knew he was gonna ask me out because he brought me flowers before we went to dinner, and I
he's
was
never
like,
brought you flowers before at this point.
no, I want to say that was the first time.
So you've been hanging out with this guy for 2 months, and this is the first time he brought you flowers.
Yeah, we're in college. My expectations were so low at this point.
So what was he giving you? Like iced coffee in the morning for class?
No, I don't think he did anything.
He was just Snapchatting you.
He would buy me food.
This girl's just trying to get free meals.
At this point,
dinner
yes.
is crazy. I ain't buying none of you girls free meals. Anybody wants a date on me,
Yeah.
y'all paying
He
for the
probably
first
would
date.
get me Starbucks here and there, but like, yeah. So he got me flowers, and I remember being like, "Oh, that's nice." He was like, "Oh, well, it's been 2 months of me knowing you." I was like, "Okay, cool." And we went to my favorite place.
He said this when he brought you the flowers to your house.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
cool.
it's been 2 months of like us knowing each other.
He drove, you drove.
He drove.
Okay, so he came, he drove.
You
he
think
brought
I'm gonna
flowers.
drive? I am passenger princess all the time.
Oh, trust me, I'm fully aware. Anyways.
I'm a cautious driver, okay?
Terrible.
Anyways, yeah. So he picks me up, gives me some flowers. Then we go to the hibachi place called Ohana.
Ohana means family.
It does.
This
It
guy was
does.
getting left behind though. All right, keep
That's
going.
not nice. Yeah, so we just get dinner. It's like a normal night. And then whenever we got back, like he was dropping me off at my place and he was like, "Oh, do you want to be my girlfriend?"
Huh?
And it literally just happened like that. And I was like,
Wait.
Sure.
So this guy, you guys ate food. This guy hopped in his car, is driving you back to your place. You guys are having a casual conversation right when you were about to go in your house to leave. He waits till the very last second to ask this question.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I have an even more embarrassing story to tell you.
Hold on, let's put a pin in that one. I feel like for all those people watching at home, I would have started with the question because it like
That's not how.
if I'm spending my money on you on a date,
No, he waited till after.
I'm gonna wait until like I'm gonna be honest with this day. I'll be like, hey, look, I'm gonna ask you out tonight. You saying yes or no? If you say no to me, I'll be like, listen, I'm just hop out the car, unfollow me on Instagram while you're at it, because I ain't spending no more time, money, and effort on you.
Yeah, no, he waited till after.
Okay, so was he nervous? Did he seem nervous?
His hands were sweaty. I remember that.
That was nice.
Because he kept going like this.
So you can't remember what
like
date
wiping
you went
his
on,
hands.
but you remember that his hands were sweaty.
I remember what he was wearing too. He was wearing like a navy like polo shirt, and
That's
I'm like,
nice.
why are you wearing that?
Okay, so now we're like, okay. He's
Yeah,
dressed
see,
nice.
I have selective memory. Very selective memory.
Okay, so then at what point in the conversation do you feel like?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask me something different. At what point did you decide you didn't want to date him anymore?
No, we're gonna get there. We're definitely gonna get there. I just have to pull teeth from you. So
Okay.
like this kid asked you to be his girlfriend, and
Yeah.
you got out of the car. What did you say? Did you say yes right away?
I'm pretty sure the exact words that came out of my mouth was, "Sure."
There's no way this kid didn't see this coming, buddy. Listen.
Oh no, I have so many other stories that you're gonna be like, this is so bad,
We gonna
Gab.
get there. We gonna get there. This is your world we're living in. We're diving into you for a second. Okay, so now you walked into the house. Did he get out of the car and give you a hug and a kiss, like thanks girlfriend or something?
No, he literally asked me to be his girlfriend while he was walking me, like dropping me off at my apartment.
Oh, cool. And then he dapped you up, or did he give you a kiss? What did he do?
Probably gave me a kiss.
Okay,
And I
cool.
probably was like, eh.
So then you went into the house, and you laid down, and you're just like, hey, thanks, I had a great time tonight. Happy to be your girlfriend. Send. Good night. Love you.
No,
All
I
that
probably said, oh, that was fun. Like, thanks for the flowers, thanks for dinner.
And this kid didn't get a single, like, awkward. Okay.
No, I have.
Okay. So the next morning you wake up, you got a good morning text from this guy?
Probably. And probably good night text. And probably, how's your day in the middle of the
Okay,
day?
so when you started dating, did you guys hang out a lot more?
Yeah, he was just always there.
Was it more weird, less weird?
Well, this was like during the school year too. So like when we would hang out, we'd be doing homework. Like I would always be doing homework. I would always be studying, and he would just be there on his laptop too. So it's just like hanging out, like, you know, studying for school and stuff. And then sometimes we would go get food. And I lived with 3 other girls at the time. He lived with 3 other guys too. And he lived like 2 stories up in the apartment building.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we were like in the same proximity a lot of times.
Cool. This goes into the next thing. So at what point did you feel like this relationship took a nosedive?
When I realized he was trying to move cities to be in the same city as me after college, I was like, I don't think
And
I'm
how
ready.
did that conversation come to be?
It was like, okay, well, I'm about to, like, I might be applying for med schools. Like, I'm going to be going to Kansas City. Like, I'm signing a lease for an apartment. Like, I already did sign the lease for the apartment, so I am going there. Like, just FYI. Like, he knew I was looking at apartments
And
that I said
how many
lease.
months into dating was this?
2 or 3 months.
So now you've known this kid for a total of how many months?
Like 5 months.
Okay, so we're coming up on a half a year now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So at that point, you told him this, and then he instantly said, hey, by the way, I'm going to move with you.
No, he instantly was like, oh, I'm going to start looking at jobs up there. And I'm like, dude, you're almost flunking out of college.
So in your
Like, first
head,
you need to figure out how to
At this point in
graduate.
your head, you're like, this dude's not coming with me.
Yeah, I just think I saw like,
So that was the point where you're like, yeah. Bro,
I saw
you're not
no
coming.
drive. Like, I was making sure he was getting his assignments in. Like, I literally felt like his mom, trying to get him to study, because I was very, very studious. Because he had mentioned that he had almost all Fs in school, in college,
is
and he
this
was
guy
a
in
business
university?
major. No, this is his 5th year. He
He's
was
a
like an
business
extra.
major?
Yeah, he was older than me. So he also was going like an extra year. And then he wasn't sure he was going to graduate. He was like, I just have to get a D in this one class so I can graduate. And I'm like, buddy.
These get degrees, apparently.
I'm like, buddy, I stress when I have one single B plus. And I was
Sounds
freaking
like
out.
this guy was trying to give you the D daily in
Oh my
your new
gosh.
city.
Oh my gosh.
He was trying to hang on to
No,
that.
but like, for real, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is a lot. I made the mistake of putting him on my YouTube channel. I was paying him for every single video he was in.
Oh, so now
'cause-
you've incorporated this guy into a public relationship.
Yes,
So now
which
you've
was a
taken
mistake.
Mr. D minus into a public relationship.
Yes, on my YouTube
And
channel.
you're planning on abandoning him.
No, it wasn't like that. I just started seeing these red flags
Girls are evil.
because I would like pay him for,
Red flag. The only red flag I saw was the one getting monetized on YouTube.
no,
Cause you running up brand deals at this point. You're making money.
I
off
would
this
pay
kid.
him. It was very like,
What were you paying this kid?
literally a percentage of
So
like
this
all the
guy's
ad revenue and
full-time job was
everything.
to be your social media boyfriend.
No, he would only be in one video like every other week. Not
Every
often.
other week, actually. How many videos I've been in? Not to one.
You've been in like 2 of my videos.
I've known you for 2 years.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I try to keep you off my YouTube because every time,
You know
oh my
this
god, I
kid
hate
for 5
Chase.
months and he's in a video every other week. And I've known
Yeah.
you for 2 years. I've been in 2 videos.
That's because I will never put another guy on my YouTube channel ever.
I don't want to be with the
Yeah.
little snot-nosed kids on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so it was just like little things. I think he thought I was gonna pay for his rent in the new city.
Oh, so now you're paying for this guy.
I think that's what he thought. And I literally had to have a conversation. I was like, listen, I don't know if I'm ready for like this serious of a
But
relationship.
at this
You're
point, you
going
guys
like
were already like
110.
living together, basically.
No, I had limited him. I was like, dude, this is becoming very suffocating, kind of like you were saying. And so I told him he can only like come over to my apartment and like spend the night or whatever, like so many days.
So
a
your
week.
boyfriend of 5 months had visiting hours.
I wasn't ready. I was not ready. This was my first relationship after a 4.5-year relationship. And I was like, this is just a lot. Like, it's freaking me out a little bit. And so, yeah, I was like, buddy, this is...
So your boyfriend of 5 years
He was so nice, though.
had visiting hours with you.
Yeah, I know.
And he had specific nights that he could come spend the night.
Towards the... Yeah.
And this
towards
guy
the-
never, not a single time, questioned any of this.
No. And what's even more crazy is...
This guy's a bigger cuck than Adam
no.
22.
Wait till you hear this.
He might be up for cuck
No,
of the
this
year.
is worse. This is worse. And all my friends were like, how did he not? He told me he loved me. And I didn't say it back. I never once said it back. And he would continue. He would say it over and over and over again. Like, he wouldn't stop saying it.
What point did he tell you that he loved you?
I want to say this was like 3 months into dating. And
So
do you
now
want to
we're at
know
the
my
si-
response?
Yeah, I do.
Every single time?
What was it?
That's so sweet. I really appreciate you. I wish I was lying, but even my roommates would be around whenever I was saying it.
And what did your roommates think of this guy?
He's gonna be watching this. Everyone thought that he just was nice. And that's about it. But
You know,
he
this
had
guy
go
messaged
for
me
it.
on Instagram.
Everyone in my life has messaged you on Instagram.
That's
my
true.
little sister,
That's true. That is true.
probably all my exes.
I was almost with the little Moses, the littlest
Shush,
Moses.
don't even say that. She's my baby
Imagine.
sister. She's 20.
Oh.
How old are you?
I did say earlier, 20 is fine. I'm just kidding.
Do I need to kick you off this couch right now? Do I need to kick you off?
I mean, everybody else is doing it at this point.
Yeah. Anyways.
So okay, so let's just power through the rest of this real quick. So okay, so now this guy's talking about moving with you to a new city. He's gonna get a job. You're having to motivate him. You got this guy on visiting hours at this point. So the relationship's going south. At what point you're like, this is it?
So I went to, there's 2 times. Whenever I would leave, Like I would leave the state for a few weeks to like go on a trip. Like it happened twice. I went to New York with my friends, and then I also went out to here to LA with some of my other friends, and I get calls of him crying on the phone because I wasn't texting him enough. I wasn't like sending him my daily itinerary, and I was like, this is just too much. You're older than me and you're crying, like bawling your eyes out on the phone. Like you're a really nice person and I don't want to be hurting you. Like I feel like you might need someone who is just like wants that type of relationship. And like I was straight up with him. I was like, listen, I'm young still, 21 at the time. I'm like, this is just a lot.
Okay, so what point did you break up with him?
I was a bridesmaid in a wedding.
Okay.
And he thought he was going to go to the wedding with me.
Okay.
And I broke up with him like a few days before the wedding because I didn't want to bring him to a wedding and give him the wrong idea. As like him being my +1 to a wedding. I was like...
As if you giving him the wrong idea the entire 6, 7... How much was the total dating time on that?
I want to say it was like 6 or 7 months.
So 7 months of this guy, you don't want to give him the wrong impression. You've taken up a year.
I was like, I don't want to... Yeah, I was like, I don't want to drag this out anymore.
Okay, so did you tell him in person?
Yes.
And how was that conversation?
I watched a grown man hit his head against the wall and cry like a baby.
That's great. Okay, so then it wasn't no back and forth. We're gonna date again. Not that was the end of communication right there. Did you ever reach out again?
I don't think so.
And so you just went.
Maybe it was like one text like saying, "Hope you're doing well."
And you went off to live happily ever after in this wedding.
Yeah, so I went to the wedding.
And he went to bang his head more.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he said bye. He was moving out of his apartment, like literally 2 days later. And him and his sister was like really sweet too. And so they said bye. And that was the last time I had talked to him. Oh. It was in person. It was like a nice bye. No hard feelings at that point.
Well, I'm glad that you guys have this extensive relationship. And for all you viewers out there that are listening right now, I really, really hope that you guys don't ever date a girl like Moses, because this just sounds terrible.
This was my first ever relationship after a 4.5-year relationship. Okay. I was scared.
Okay, Moses, go ahead and transition us into the final
Well, I was going to ask you more about your relationship.
I don't want to talk about her because I am not as dark as you.
Anyways,
transitioning into your segment of the podcast.
So it's time for In the DMs, guys. And today we're going to talk about, this is very fitting, some very embarrassing things that had happened to some of you guys while on dates and in relationships. So I put this out on our social media, so be sure to be following us too on all of our social media, so then you can maybe even be mentioned, in this little segment that we do every single time. Okay, so first one, let me get it up real quick. Okay. Okay. So she was a friend of mine and I kind of liked her too. Well, her recent ex saw her getting into my truck. He called her while we were at the table waiting for our food. She put it on speaker, but he didn't know this. He immediately started demanding her to tell her where she was. She wouldn't do that. So he said he would tag her in a Facebook post, posting all of her nudes she had ever sent him while they were dating if she didn't go home. I felt so bad for her. She was in tears the whole way home. The worst part is nobody believed me because he's such a nice guy. This makes me sick to think about.
Okay, so here's my take on that. I think that abusive relationships can be emotional and physical. Mm-hmm. I think with that, that's a common form of bullying. Whether he was on speaker or not, I think how he talks to people, there's two different ways that you could do that. There's more the Andrew Tate way, where he's more like, okay, like if we're together, then you need to listen to what I'm saying because I have your best interest in mind. And then there's that way where it's like, if you don't do what I'm saying, I'm going to cause issues in your life. It sounds like your first boyfriend, mind you, but not the nudist part, because like obviously not that, but I just mean like the bullying aspect. Mm-hmm. I think that situation is tough because on camera and in the public eye, you pretend to be a really nice guy. Behind closed doors, it doesn't sound like he's a very nice guy. I think if you're a girl or whoever your guy is consolidating in you, whatever the word is, consoling in you, to expose themselves, give you new pictures, whatever, for your enjoyment. I don't think that you ever take those and use them against them in any sort of way. I think that goes back to that defamation thing we spoke about earlier on the podcast. My advice to her, get out of that relationship while it's hot.
Block him.
Block
Restraining
him.
order.
Try to get those news from, maybe sweet talk him a little bit. If he's going to be manipulative, you should be manipulative too. Get into his phone, delete all that stuff off of there and leave this guy, because if it's not that particular situation that's going to get it done, in his head, he knows what it is that's going to get under your skin, what it is that's going to bother you, and it only gets progressively worse from there. It never gets better.
That's true. It's true. Okay, this next one's a little bit funny. So this guy that I went on a date with was spending the whole night talking about his friend named Pedro and how he couldn't wait to introduce us. Turns out Pedro was the name for his penis, and that they were both pretty pissed that I wouldn't even shake hands with Pedro. Never mind kiss him, because you hurt his feelings by refusing to shake hands. This was in our DMs on Instagram.
Wow. So whoever's sharing this story, Pedro sounds like a pedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if I'm really...
That's an embarrassing story. Imagine.
I don't really know a whole lot of people that name their private areas, but this sounds like a ginormous red flag. A lot of toxicity there. This guy sounds like he's probably like really young, 15, 16, 17, 18, like somewhere in his teens.
He was older.
Oh, he's
Based
older.
on looking at the profile picture of the person
And then
that
this guy
said it.
sounds like an actual creep, and I think that, best case scenario for that, get out of that before it gets too serious.
No, exactly. Okay, another one.
Pause you guys for like 2 seconds. It's been 59 minutes and 37 seconds.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I just wanted to give you a
Oh,
little
no.
heads up.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. So next one. I went with a girl to see a really late night theater show and it ended at 2 a.m. well past public transit, so we didn't have a car, so we walked back to her family house. We collapsed fully clothed on her bed and instantly fell asleep. 3 hours later, her dad shook me awake and demanded who I was. When he found out I was studying chemistry in college, he started questioning me about thermodynamics, which is really not my strongest subject, but it was so embarrassing.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I think that shout out to the dad for fact checking that. Sounds like a really smart guy. I got to give him props for that. As for him, as a student, I did feel like even me, who studied neuroscience in school, somebody came and quizzed me on some stuff that I haven't opened a book or looked at in some time, it'd be a very rocky answer as well, especially when I'm a student.
Especially if you woke up.
Yeah, like, bro, like, what time is it? You're waking me up to,
Yeah, like
to
5
ask me
a.m.
about, well, what's the powerhouse of a cell? If you don't, if you don't get on, it's a very awkward and uncomfortable situation. But I think, if you stand your ground there and you give some valid answers and you got you're fully clothed, I mean, I think that, long term, it's probably fine. I think that's more on the girl for not checking with the parents to make sure it was good.
No,
for him to do that.
exactly.
So, that's not really on him.
No, exactly. Well, that is all that I have.
All right, sick. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another video of the #1 podcast in the world. Make sure you guys smash that like button, turn on all post notifications, subscribe to the channel. All that helps a ton. If you're already here, you might as well press it anyways. I'm your host, Chase Demore,
And Gabrielle Moses.
and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.